Hey guys, what's up? So in this short video, I'm gonna show you something really cool. It's called beat, stop, drop pattern, which tells you it's the market stop. So just remember this: when more companies are gonna be reporting earnings, you're gonna see a beat, and instead of going higher, the stock is going to stop, and that day, on the next day, it's going to drop. And that is a sign of a top. So I'm just going to bring up some charts, but just understand this. A lot of this has to do with the context. So if you listen to enough of my videos, you know context is king. So right now, people are going to tell you, well, it's time to be bullish. It's fucking time to be bullish. The market's been doing this. It's time to be bullish? Fuck no. It ain't no time to be bullish. Most of these stocks, well, with the exception of a couple, I just got some examples here. We'll glance at the charts in a second, but they've already done this. So they're at the point now where, guess what? Unless in a way they beat earnings is absolutely to the fucking moon, they're not going to go higher. And we're talking about some colossal stocks. So market has this thing, consider the earnings report an event. Consider Tesla meeting or grand announcement on some new they're doing like the robotaxi. Consider that an event. Consider Federal Reserve announcing rate decision. That's an event. Anything that could be driving stocks that could be a big catalyst could be considered an event. In this particular case, we're dealing with earnings reports on these stocks. We're dealing with the election. So right now we have a setup in the market, the context of the market that ahead of the election, right? Everything is practically up. So some of you might have bought calls on Meta and you were sitting there wondering, well, why the fuck is it not going up? So it's because Meta beat on earnings, beat on revenue, beat on everything, and yet stock stops and drops. And that tells you it's the top. So the context, right? So let's glance at the chart to elaborate a little bit more on this. We have Apple here. Apple no different than Meta, right? What do you see here? It's a fucking top. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this shit out. And that was, this data is of yesterday, November 1st. Today, November 2nd, like the one guy you don't fuck with in the stock market is Warren Buffett, okay? And he makes mistakes occasionally, but when he holds a gazillion shares of Apple, and he told you last quarter that he sold some, why the fuck would you not, okay? Come on, man. When we're talking about this kind of money, we're talking billions, fucking trillions, and he is liquidating it again today during the Berkshire Hathaway meeting. He said, man, we keep selling this shit, okay? So he sold more. By the time, the way the reporting is done, he probably sold a lot more since the last time he was obliged to report. So basically, what are we saying? The smartest guy in the room has been selling the fuck out of it. Why do you think this thing cannot go to a new high? This shit is going to collapse. And I'm shocked that it didn't drop yesterday on Friday. I ain't gonna lie, we had 230 puts that we bought earlier in the week, and last week we had 225 puts, we had 220 puts. Depending on what size you had and what strikes you had, you either made a little bit of money or you lost some money. Like the 220s, they lost money. 225s, 230s, they all made money. But, that's what you get when you're trading options. But overall, in my view, Apple should have dropped to at least 215, 210 yesterday. So it's going to do it next week. But when you're trading weekly options, that's the thing. You just got to go for the fucking trade. And depending on the size of your account, sometimes you got a bigger size account, you can go with a slightly better strike, and hey, you're not going to make 100x trade on a in the money strike or close to the money strike, but you're going to make money. You're going to make certain money. And that was such an easy bet. You got black candle 1 with the RSI above 70. You got black candle 2 with the RSI barely touching 60. You got black candle 3 with the RSI barely touching 60. You got black candle 4 with the RSI barely touching 60. You got black candle 5 with RSI barely touching 50. It's done. This is your tornado pattern, damn it. Like, you got it. Guys, when you trade, you got to understand the fucking patterns. You got to understand what these candles are telling you. So, well, these guys, look, if you focus on the charts and the patterns, they're not going to tell you, oh, well, it's, guess what? We got a black candle today because Warren Buffett's been selling the shit out of it. Okay? It's not, the chart is not going to tell you that. So we don't know who or what is selling. We're going to know later. But what I'm saying is, if you focus on the chart and the pattern, the candle formation, and the divergence between RSI and the volume, like, look, you have to be an absolute idiot to ignore this sell day and this sell day, even though temporarily things go slightly higher. But what do you do? You short these bounces, okay? So getting back to the fact that a lot of technology stocks are topping makes them an easy target for shorting opportunities, even though they are the best stocks in the market. But the problem is this. Everybody owns them. They're heavily over-owned. And when something is heavily over-owned, it's just like people will tell you, wow, BlackRock is buying Bitcoin. That's so bullish. No, that's highly fucking bearish, okay? Because there's going to be a moment BlackRock is going to unload a shitload of Bitcoin. You're going to see a sell-off in Bitcoin like you've never seen in your life. See, the beautiful thing about Bitcoin pumping before was you did not have big players, big institutional investors, which they operate in a very predictable fashion, which makes your trading so much easier. So there's going to be a moment, like when the market opens on November 4th. I'm recording this on a Saturday, November 2nd. So November 4th comes. Apple's going to break. It's going to go lower, okay? I mean, Trump win is associated with technology stocks going higher. I predict exactly the opposite is going to take place. Apple makes a ton of stuff in China. I mean, Trump wins. Man, good luck, Apple. Apple's got like, I don't know the exact number, 30, 40% Apple sales from fucking China. Good luck. Trump went. Apple, I'd say within 2 weeks, Apple hits 170. It's a 50 fucking point drop. Nobody sees the shit coming. But it's reporting a beat, and a beat on revenue, beat on earnings. Okay, and guess what? It stops and it drops. Or a better term, probably instead of a stop, I just use the term stop to, it rhymes a little better. Stop, drop equals a top, but it's a stall when a stock stalls so many times at the top. It is not a bullish thing. It's not a bull when you have all these bear divergences on this chart. We have all these black candles that signify top 1, top 2, top 3, top 4, top 5, yet 5, 6, 7 tops, and the stock still cannot break out. It's not a bear, bro. It's a dog. It's a dog with fleas, and you would never hear anyone on Wall Street use such a description for Apple, but this is the easiest short in the fucking world. Yeah, it's got cash. It's got the balance sheet. It don't fucking matter. Guess what? Everybody's going to dump it. They're going to dump it. Apple just reported earnings. One more time. It beat on earnings. It beat on revenue. What does the stock do? It stops and fucking drops. Okay. Next one. Let's talk about Meta. Okay. Like, do I even need to say anything? Do I need to say one word? We should just skip to the next chart because damn it. When you look at this, and if you don't see a top, and if you don't see divergences on the RSI right here, and if you don't see major divergences on the volume, man, you got zero chance to beat the fucking market. That's why you should come and learn the charts divergence course, the 13 market moves. You should look at the chart like this, not from the standpoint, oh, the trend overall is higher. No, fuck you. The trend has fucking reversed here at 600. Top 1, top 2, top 3. Meta is going down next week at a speed of light. We're heading in the biggest economic depression of all fucking times. And this Meta motherfucker spends $40 billion a year and it don't profit from this AI bullshit. So what do you think is going to happen? Fast forward 3-4 months from now, this shit's going to be down to 280. It's going to get slashed in half. And if stocks like Apple and Meta are going to drop, what do you think is going to happen to the market? This is the point of reckoning. This is the top. Like, do you understand? The stock hits 600 level 3 times, in each time, like the first time it hits slightly above 600, the RSI is at the moon. It's almost at the highest point on this entire chart time frame, right? There it is, above 70. The second time it gets there, the RSI is lower. The third time at the same price level, it's way lower than the prior 2 times. That is a bear divergence. Look at the volume. I've told you this in many, many videos, guys. This is not a fucking bull. Look at this. It goes higher right here. When it hits these highs, do you see how volume is actually going down? Meaning nobody wants to fucking buy it here no more besides you because you've been brainwashed by CNBC. Meta is the greatest AI play on the planet. Yeah, says a guy who told you to buy SMCI at 1300. It's the same fucking guy who's telling you to buy Meta at 600. So, honestly, despite of the beat, they're blowing $40 billion on shit that doesn't make money. At times when the economy is slowing down, this stock is going to get beat down so badly. You're going to be looking at green candle. You're going to be looking at red candles every day. And by miracle, you're going to get a green candle. You're going to be like, yes, I knew it. It's going to turn around. I bought the dip a little too early, but damn it. The next day, you're going to see this shit collapse even more. Okay, this stock is done. I mean, the biggest volume occurs here, like on the sell days. Like there's very little volume, and this is arguably on this chart shows green, which is buy volume, but we're getting the black candle, which means a lot more people were selling. The stock still finished in green that day, but like this is bad volume. We can't even count this green candle as a green candle by itself because it's accompanied by a black candle, which means a lot of people were getting rid of this shit that day. And you get an uptick in selling. Guys, it's bad. I mean, it is bad. This is nothing like what they're telling you in the news. This is a top. Meta beats on earnings, beats on revenue. So beat, stop, drop. That's what it does after the earnings report. Okay, Microsoft. I mean, I'm going through the big names, okay? because they have such a major component percentage-wise of the S&P. So you get these big names correctly, what they're going to do next, you're going to get the rest of the market correctly. But the issue is these stocks, right? They got money, they got cash, they can afford to blow 40 billion. They can afford to, blow out, hundred thousands of workers and get away with it, right? But that also tells you something. If Wall Street is so overcrowded in these perceived AI plays, Meta, Microsoft, okay, and they cannot go higher on good earnings reports, beat, stop, drop. That's a fucking top. Like, clearly you look at the chart and say, well, the top was here, Leo. Yeah, go look in July. We told you this was the fucking top. But what I'm saying is, okay, what's the next move? Where these things are going? Okay, this is the top, this is the top. And if the stock cannot move to the upside on a good earnings report, what do you expect? So you're going to argue, you're going to say, Leo, but you're showing us these dogs that recently dropped. These are not dogs. These are the top best companies in the fucking universe. So what you're going to talk about is Amazon. Leo, but the Amazon, it went up my ass. Okay, let me tell you exactly what happened here. So Amazon actually got a good report. And unlike Meta and unlike Microsoft, it didn't drop. It actually went higher. But look at the fucking chart. Hello? If it cannot move above its prior high on what is perceived by the market is the greatest performer of the big 7 names during this earnings season, what do you think this black candle means? I'll tell you exactly what the fuck this means. Amazon is going to drop. Just like Microsoft, just like Meta, just like all the big 7, just like the rest of the fucking market, just like everything else that I could be pulling up a chart of right now. Because on the greatest earnings report, okay, so Jeff sold some right here. Ultimately, other people took note. They started selling. Since then, hey, the stock's been recovering, but guess what? If it cannot break above this prior high on such a positive catalyst, there's nothing in the near future that's going to cause this stock to move up. Nothing. Fuck. It doesn't matter. Trump wins, Harris fucking, Putin could be the president of the United States. This shit still wouldn't go higher. Okay? So, look, this black candle, that's a death sentence, bro. You can be bullish on Amazon all you want. This shit is going to drop. So you may be saying, Leo, but these are all technology stocks you're talking about. Yeah. Let's take a look at some. Oh, this one's really going to get some people like, are you serious, Leo? Come on, man. BlackRock? That's like the baddest thing on the planet. That is like the biggest, baddest hedge funds ever. Yeah, until you're going to see this shit get slashed in half, okay? Look, all these data centers, like, let me tell you, the biggest investment, that's all they talk about lately. Oh, we're going to put money in Bitcoin. They've been buying the shit out of Bitcoin. Guess what? They've never had a day where they actually had an outflow in Bitcoin in the last 6 months. What does that tell you? What do you think? They're never going to sell Bitcoin. They're just going to hold it. Like MicroStrategy, which, by the way, don't miss the next video. I really got to devote a special video to that one because there's a whole lot of things to talk about when we talk about MicroStrategy, the most overvalued stock in the entire fucking world. But BlackRock, okay? I remember those days where I put some crazy fucking trades on BlackRock, and this time's going to be no exception. So what does it do on earnings? It beats. Yes. And then what happens? It stops. And since then, it does nothing but drop. So we got technology, beat, stop, drop. We got financial institutions, a big magnitude. Beat, stop, drop. This is a top. I don't know. I mean, before you go to sleep tonight, man, just put it on your fridge. I write it in big letters. Beat, stop, drop equates to market top. Okay? This is it. I mean, this is as good as it gets for a short seller, guys. Yeah, they're making trillions of dollars. Guess what? They don't make shit because they are over-invested of what they perceive to be the greatest fucking trade in the world, which is the data centers. And they put everybody's pension money in that shit. Okay? And by the way, they're not the only ones doing that. I already shown you a couple of players that they partnered up with to do that. One of them is this. Microsoft. How does this chart look to you? Pretty fucking bullish? Get the fuck out of here. This shit is going to collapse. Microsoft is going to go to hell. Which makes BlackRock what? This makes BlackRock an easy fucking short because it's basically within just 20 points off the top. Microsoft's already down like 50, 60 points off the top. This thing is only up by 20 points off the top. But we can go like banks, right? Like we're talking about banks, Morgan Stanley, right? Beat, stop, drop. It's a top. Beat, stop, drop, it's a top. Guys, hopefully you're learning something tonight, damn it. I mean, beat, stop, drop, it's a top. Which normally banks are associated, like banks, like us. I made at one point in 2016, the night when futures go down 1,000 points and they recover 1,000 points. Wells Fargo, which is a stock that doesn't move a whole lot, moves like crazy. Within 3 days, I held my calls on Wells Fargo. They went like close to 100x, guys, within 3 days. So generally, banks, because of lesser regulation that is associated with Trump, they do very well with the Trump win. So I wouldn't like just go and bet on it. But what I'm saying is, for the purpose of the earnings reports that we just seen, all of these banks, they're beating on earnings. So it's beat, stop, drop. Now they could be, I mean, temporarily for like a trade, they could be one of the greatest trades on the upside if Trump wins. Okay, but guess what? The setup, when we go to the setup, I mean, all of these things are already up here. Like, look at this. We're looking at Wells Fargo. What is this? Like, this is what I drew. This is what I drew here for you. Wells Fargo is already doing this ahead of the election. And I don't like that setup. And so, I mean, this could be exact opposite of 2016 market reaction to a Trump win, because the context is this. If you look at a lot of stocks like NVIDIA, by the way, it's not reported in earnings for a while, but if we take the last NVIDIA report, what do you think NVIDIA did after the report? Stop and drop. It went from like 125 to like 116, and it kept dropping to like 110 before. Now it's at 135. So NVIDIA, Microsoft, Meta, BLK, Apple, it's all what? Wells Fargo, it's all what? Beat, stop, drop. Beat, stop, drop ahead of an election. Guys, it's the top. Like any chart you see that recently has done this ahead of the election, it's a bad setup. I'm telling you. You'd never buy calls on a setup like this. When something's gone recently, like Meta, we're talking about it, right? It's gone from 400 to 600. Okay, you cannot do anything to me. You can put a gun to my head and I'm not going to fucking buy calls on Meta here. So, like, you got to look at the context. Right here. It's the top. Damn it, it's the top. Temporarily we can get a pop. Like if you look at every indication, they've ran it ahead of the election. So the last thing you want to do is you want to bet on a further progression higher, which technically we could get, but opposed to 2016, I would be sitting here. If we get a temporary reaction higher on Trump's win, I would be shorting this, because if you listen to all of my videos recently, it doesn't matter who wins, Trump or Harris, the market's going to collapse the fuck out. So, hopefully this video brings some light. Hopefully you understand that in this type of setup, sometimes it doesn't matter whether the company beats on earnings or it misses on earnings. It doesn't matter whether Harris wins or Trump wins. It matters in many aspects, but when you look at a market setup like this, and people are saying, well, if Trump wins, these stocks are going to go up, or if Harris wins, these stocks are going to go up. What I'm saying is, when you see a chart like this, at that point, it doesn't matter who the fuck wins. It's all going to do this. So, if you want to understand how to trade it, if you want to understand what expiration to buy, if you want to understand what strike to buy, if you want to understand how instead of making a 2x, you can make 100x over the course of the next 10 days to 30 days, you go to 13marketmoves.com. You go to 13mmtv.com. You schedule a call with someone here at 13 Market Moves, and you do it tonight, guys. This is the greatest setup. Beat, stop, drop equals the top. Combine it with everything else I've been talking in some prior videos, all the bear divergences. When we look at the economic data, when we look at the charts, when you bring all of that together, the probability of the market crash is at like 99 fucking %. So you cannot get me to buy fucking calls on anything when the probability of a fucking market drop is at 99%. But you got to know what to trade. And oftentimes, it's not going to be the trade that you're thinking about. It's not going to be the strike that you're thinking about. It's not going to be the duration that you're thinking about. So that's why you get in touch with 13 Market Moves, because we'll also help you with the emotional aspects of trading, being able to actually stay with the winning trade for once. Instead of jumping at 2x, you could potentially capitalize on 50x, 100x, 200x. So let's fucking roll. 13mmtv.com, 13marketmoves.com. Let's go.
Make your move, cowboy.
I got the horses in the bag, horse stock is attached. Head is matted black, got the bushes black to match. Riding on a horse,